Guys, it's me, and as you can tell by the title, um yeah, 21 weeks pregnant and having contractions that were 5 minutes apart, and they lasted for 42 seconds. At first, I thought maybe, okay, maybe this is Braxton Hicks. And this all started like on a Tuesday night, so it was around 7 or 8 when they started. Mind you, I have to be at work at 4 o'clock in the morning. So, I'm just thinking, okay, maybe this will pass. So I go to work like a normal day, and at my job, it consists of me doing a lot of walking. So as I'm walking, I'm having these contractions. Like, I'm having these contractions, and I got to keep my composure because, you know what I'm saying, I'm at work, and not too many people know that I'm pregnant. I'm really not showing. I'm really not showing at all. So, I do my job, and then I go sit down, and I'm constantly having these contractions. So I'm like, okay, all right. In my mind, because I've had two kids, so I know what contractions feel like, and that's what it felt like. So, in my mind, I don't want to waste anybody's time. I didn't want to waste the doctor's time. I didn't want to waste my time by going to the emergency room or to the labor delivery room, for nothing, So, okay. I get off work, I go home, I'm still having the contractions, I take a nap, rest, put my feet up, lay different certain positions, try to go to sleep. And I still was having these contractions. So now it's Thursday, and I call my doctor, because at this point I had went to the store. I got some gas medicine because I'm thinking, well, maybe I have gas, maybe that's what it is, because so I get the gas medicine. I'm taking it, you know what I'm saying, like, because it's like I couldn't pass gas, like it was like no relief there. So I'm thinking maybe it's gas, maybe I'm backed up or whatever, constipated, whatever. So I get medicine to help with that situation, and I'm still not feeling any type of relief. It's not letting up. So I call my doctor office and I tell them, hey, I done had these I've been having contractions like for 2 days now, and they're 5 minutes apart. They last for 42 seconds, and these ain't no Braxton Hicks, So my nurse was like, oh, they're not Braxton Hicks. Not if they've been, like you've been having them frequently and they haven't stopped. Because I know Braxton Hicks, they come and they go, but this was not going. This was coming and coming. So she told me, she was like, well, and at this time I'm at work when I called. So she tells me, she was like, go straight to labor and delivery. She was like, pack your bag, go straight there. So I get off work at 12, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just wait. It's like 11 something. Okay, I'll just wait and go when I get off. So I got off work, went home, took a shower, got me a bag, like, because I really was not expecting this. So I got a bag, put some stuff in the bag, and I'm just like, okay, this can't be happening, not now. I'm only 21 weeks pregnant. My baby's lungs have not even developed. But at the same time that I'm having these contractions, my baby is moving. I feel him moving. I feel him kicking, So I get to the emergency room. I tell them, they see me. They put me in a room. So the first nurse that was on the shift or whatever, she hooked me up to the machine to read my contractions. So she put the machine on there, positioned it where she figured my contractions would show. But unfortunately, she came back and she was like, well, I'm not seeing any contractions. And I'm like, ma'am, like,
I can't pick them up on the monitor, but I'm having some type of pain every 5 minutes. So I don't know what's going on with Jelly Bean right now. They're waiting on the doctor to tell them what they're gonna do. They think they're gonna keep me. They think they're gonna give me some fluids because I could be dehydrated. So I don't know.
I done had two kids, so I know what contractions feel like. I'm having them, and I'm having them now. Like, do you think I'm making this up? Like, I'm not making this up. So she tells me, well, I'm gonna call the doctor and see what the doctor says or whatever. Because mind you, when I was at the emergency room, I saw no doctor, whatsoever. All I saw was nurses, and this nurse, she kind of looked like she was fairly new. You know what I'm saying? Like, she looked young. And yeah, I know I'm small. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm short, you know. So most people probably think I'm probably young, but I'm not. I'm 36 years old. So, long story short, she just has me in there. Like, she didn't haven't given me anything, and I'm telling her I'm having contractions. So she checks me. She was like, okay, well, I'm gonna check you. So she checks me, and she tells me, okay, well, you're not, like, you're just like one and a half maybe, you know, centimeters, like, open my cervix like 1.5 centimeters or whatever. So I'm like, 1.5 centimeters, I should be nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't even start opening up. If I'm 1.5 centimeters, then, you know, the contractions, they were coming. Okay, so you know, she finally came in and she gave me a pill. She gave me a pill, and she hooked me up to an IV, and she gave me a pill and some other narcotics, she said. So that way, you know, I could rest or whatever, because like I said, the contractions were coming, they were kind of, it was starting to, and I have a high pain tolerance, but it had got to the point where it was starting to aggravate me, because I'm like thinking in my mind, okay, I can't go back home and go to work and still be going through this pain like I've been going through this pain, because it's starting to irritate me at the moment. So she gave me the medication. I was out. My baby daddy, he came to the hospital. He was there with me. My mom was there first, and then when he got off work, he came. And now, mind you, the whole time he's like, oh, you're not having contractions. I'm like, dude, I done had 2 kids. Like, I know what contractions feel like. So I'm assuming the first nurse, her shift had ended, so it was the second nurse that had came in, and she came in and she was like, yeah, they say you're saying you're having contractions, and she was like, but the machine is not picking them up. So while she was in there, I had one, and she was like, okay, let me rearrange this. Let me rearrange the contraction machine to see, because she was like, I that sound like just me breathing and tensing up, and she was like, I've had many kids, and I see you having a contraction right now. So she rearranged the machine to put it in the center, like lower part of my stomach, because my baby is low. It is a boy. I don't know why the first lady had it up high. Like, I don't know why she had it up there, because that's not where the pain was coming from. It was coming right down below the center of my belly button. Like, it was real intense. So she put the machine there. She repositioned it. And when she repositioned it, she was like, okay, I see them. You are having contraction. And I'm like, praise God. I'm like so happy that a nurse came that knew what she was doing and knew what to look for. Because the first one, she did not know. She did not try to look. She didn't reposition the machine to try to find it. So I'm really happy that the second nurse came in and she knew what she was doing. She knew what to look for. So she was telling me, she was like, and when she told him, I was like, I knew I wasn't going crazy. And she was like, next time this happens or you have to come in here, you make them rearrange the machine, because not everybody contraction is going to show in the same spot. And she was like, some people don't know what to look for. And I'm like, thinking in my mind, well, if they don't know what to look for, then they don't need to be in here doing it. You know what I mean? Like, they don't need to be in here doing it, because the first nurse was really going to send me home and not give me anything, because I'm telling her that I'm having contractions, but because she can't read them, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what I'm saying, like, it's not true, but so anyway, it was just very intense. It was a lot going through my mind. I was scared. I was nervous, because that has never happened to me before. So the second nurse, she was like, well, have you ever had preterm labor before? I'm like, no. You know what I'm saying? With my other 2 kids, they actually went past their due date. So no, this is new to me. But the contractions were not new to me. I knew what they felt like, because I've had 2 kids. So she was like, well, let me go call the doctor back and see what they want us to do. So like I said, mind you, I still haven't seen a doctor. I didn't see no doctor. I just saw nurses. So she comes back in. She gives me some medication in the IV to stop the contractions. And she also checked me again, and like she said, it's like 1 centimeter. Like, like my cervix wasn't like open, but I'm like at 1.5. So she gave me that, and I instantly like was out. Like, what I'm saying, like I got some sleep. And I hadn't ate anything. Like, I didn't even eat lunch at work, so I hadn't ate anything. And now at the time it's like 9 something, 10. So I tell my baby daddy to go get me something to eat because I'm hungry. I have not ate anything. I'm hungry. So he goes to give me something to eat. And I was surprised, like, they let him leave and they let him come back. Like, it wasn't like, like most people be saying, like, once you get there you have to stay. That's not true, because like they allowed him to leave and to come back. So he brought me some food. I ate it and I went to sleep. I was so happy to eat. Like, that was the first time in a while since I had ate all my food, like, because I was just so hungry. So she came in there, she came back in to check on me like around 12 something, and she asked me how was I feeling. At this point, like, I don't want to stay. If you done gave me something to stop the contractions, I don't want to be in the hospital. I want to go home. So she asked me, well, Miss Jackson, do you work? I'm like, yes, I work. And she's like, well, you have to work tomorrow? I'm like, yes, I have to work tomorrow, and I really want to go to work. So she was like, I don't know. I don't know if I should allow you to go to work, being the fact that, you're having contractions and you're having these premature labor contractions. And, and she was like, your job, you walk a lot and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah. I was like, well, just make me an excuse just in case, But in my mind, I'm still going to work. So they let me go. They don't keep me. I'm so happy they don't keep me. They let me go. The contractions at that point, the contractions had stopped. So I get myself together. My baby daddy, get our stuff together, whatever. So I leave, and I drove. By the way, I drove myself there. So of course I'm gonna drive myself home. Now, mind you, they gave me this medication, but I made it home safely. And everything. So as I'm driving home from the hospital, the contractions come back. So they come back, and I'm like, at this point, I'm like, Lord Jesus, like, I don't want to go back to the hospital. I don't want to stay in the hospital. They checked my baby. His heartbeat was fine. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to go back to the hospital. And I have a doctor's appointment on the 25th. Which was like a week or two from then. So it's like, okay, maybe, maybe the medication, wore off a little bit, but maybe it'll come back or whatever. So I get home, I go to sleep, I go to work the next morning, and I'm still having the contractions, but they're not 5 minutes apart. Like, it's like they downgraded. So instead of being 5 minutes, it may be 20. So this now at this point, they're like kind of Braxton Hicks to me, because it wasn't long. It didn't last all day. So Friday, by the time I got off work and got home, they had completely stopped. So I was so happy that they had completely stopped, because I was just happy, like, because it was just so much going through my mind. Like, I didn't want my water to break. I didn't want my baby to come at 21 weeks, because I just know he's not ready, So I'm just talking to my baby, telling him, Jelly Bean, hey, you got to stay in there. It's not time yet. I want to see you, but I don't want to see you right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see you. I want to hold you. I want to love on you, but not right now, because you're not ready yet. So you have to bake a little while longer. So by saying all of this, my advice to women that are pregnant, if something's not feeling right, go to the hospital. And regardless of what they may not be able to read or what they may not be able to pick up, you know your body. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of times when, you know, we go to the doctor and we tell them something, it kind of gets brushed off. Like, I really think they should be more alert, you know what I'm saying, like, to situations like that. Like I said, when I was there, I didn't see a doctor. Then the doctor comes to me. And I would have loved to see a doctor because I needed to know, and I still want to know. And when I go to the doctor on the 25th, I'm going to ask, why did that happen? Like, it's never happened before. Why did it happen? Like, why did it happen? So when I go back on the 25th, I'm supposed to take some tests. We drink the nasty stuff and all that. But when I see my doctor, I'm definitely going to talk to him to find out, you know, why did that happen, and do I need to be worried? You know, like, it's new to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very, very new to me. And yeah, it's very new to me. So that is my scare at 21 weeks, pregnant, preterm labor contractions. But yeah, I was very, very scared. But now Jelly Bean is fine, you know, he's fine. And I've never really showed y'all my belly bump. I want to see my belly bump. See my little bump. So yeah, he's fine. He's in there still baking like he needs to be, because it's not time yet. December is a while from now. But, you know, I was scared, and that's never happened to me before. And, you know, just be mindful, know when something's wrong. And I wrote everything down in a book, so whenever they asked me, like, I was able to tell them the times, I was able to tell them the seconds, I was able to tell them all of that. So always have a little book with you if you're pregnant and your body's not feeling right, or you're not feeling right, or you think you're having contractions. Write it down. Write down the time. Write down how long it lasted. Write the information down, so therefore you know you have it, and you know you're not going crazy. You know what I mean? And just don't leave without getting answers. But like I said, I still didn't get any answers. I just know that they got the pain to stop, which I'm very happy that they got that pain to stop, because I don't think I could. I went home and went to work and still did that. I had already did it for 2 days. Like, I was tired. I was exhausted. So, and I also have the clips. So, you know, you'll see some small clips when I was in the hospital. But like I said, I was kind of aggravated, and, you know, I didn't record a lot when I was in there because I was aggravated. And because, you know, like I said, the first nurse was trying to tell me that it wasn't so. And I'm like, yes, it is so. So, you know, but I'm happy that another nurse came and she was able to tell me.